Welcome back. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Brittany from Hawaii Wedding Studio. We all know the wedding is the dream, but the paperwork? That can be a bit of a hike. Today, we're breaking down the secrets to conquering the Oahu marriage certificate and name change process without losing your island glow. All right, let's get engaged.
Lean back, trying to talk into facts. Stay a while, press and play. You're smart, great, every day.
Picture this. You've just pulled off like the absolute perfect wedding on a stunning, sun-drenched beach in Oahu.
Ah, the dream.
Right. The ocean breeze was exactly right. The photos are completely flawless, and you were just floating on this absolute cloud of romance.
Yeah, you're in paradise.
Exactly. You wake up the next morning, maybe you order some room service, and then bam, reality just crashes right through the sliding glass door.
Ah, yes. The dreaded post-wedding paperwork hangover. It strikes when you least expect it.
It is the absolute worst because no amount of coconut water or, ibuprofen is going to cure this one.
No, definitely not. I mean, you spend months, sometimes years, planning this perfect celebration of your love, poring over floral arrangements and seating charts.
So many seating charts.
Right. Only to realize that the legal system doesn't care about any of that beautiful stuff. It just cares about forms, stamps, and basically establishing a completely new legal identity for you.
It's honestly like waking up in a tropical paradise only to realize you have to do your taxes on your honeymoon.
That is the perfect way to put it.
It's brutal. So to save you from this administrative nightmare, we've pulled together a massive stack of sources for today's deep dive. We're talking State of Hawaii, Department of Health guidelines, federal name change frameworks, and a mountain of reviews from real couples who have navigated this exact maze.
Yeah, the mission today is to provide you with the ultimate completely stress-free guide to handling the Oahu marriage certificate and name change process. We really want to unpack the mechanics of this bureaucracy.
So you can actually get back to enjoying the beach, which is the whole point.
Exactly. But the first thing you really need to realize is that this isn't just a simple checklist.
Right.
It's heavily interconnected, like a strategic operation. If you dive in blind and just start calling banks and government agencies randomly, the dominoes stop falling.
You just end up wasting days of your life sitting in the wrong waiting rooms, right? With all the wrong documents.
Yes. Every single step relies entirely on the successful completion of the step right before it.
Which brings us to the absolute foundation of this entire operation. I like to call it the infinity gauntlet of paperwork.
The infinity gauntlet. I love that.
Because before you can change your name on a single thing, I mean, not your bank, not your driver's license, not even your Netflix account, you need the foundational document that proves this marriage legally occurred.
The certified Hawaii marriage certificate.
Yes. You need this one piece of paper to snap your fingers and alter your identity across the entire universe of government databases.
Without that certified copy, you are legally exactly who you were before the ceremony. The state still views you as two completely separate individuals.
Wow.
And, the timeline on the ground in Oahu is what catches a lot of couples off guard. When your officiant submits your marriage license for filing with the State of Hawaii Department of Health, the state doesn't just instantly flip a switch.
Wait, they don't.
No. The processing, cross-referencing, and official recording by the Vital Statistics Office, well, it takes anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks.
1 to 4 weeks. That is like absolute limbo. And here's where I just have to push back a little bit on the modern world.
Go for it.
I mean, we live in an era where I can pay for my groceries by tapping my watch, right? And my phone recognizes the geometry of my face in the pitch black.
Very true.
So why, in our highly digital age, are government institutions still so utterly obsessed with physical, stamped paper copies that take a month to generate?
I get the frustration, but it really comes down to the chain of trust, and especially the rigid requirements of the federal Real ID Act.
The Real ID Act.
Yeah. A digital file, like a PDF or photo on your phone, it can be seamlessly altered in a matter of minutes. But a certified vital record relies on physical security features.
Like the special paper they use.
Exactly. Security paper, raised seals, official state stamps. The institutions that control your identity and your money, like the Social Security Administration or Border Control, they require absolute, undeniable physical proof.
They need to literally run their thumb over that raised seal to prevent identity fraud.
You got it. So we are forced to play by the paper rules.
Fine. So let's talk about acquiring these physical golden tickets once that whole 1 to 4 week waiting period is actually over.
Right. So our sources outline that you can order them online by mail, or if you happen to live on the island or are on a long extended stay, you can just go in person to the Vital Records office.
Which is located at 1250 Punch Bowl Street in Honolulu, right? Room 103 on the first floor.
That's the one. And if you are going the physical route, you have to treat it like a tactical mission. Their hours are incredibly rigid.
How rigid are we talking?
Well, they're open 7:45 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, and they lock the doors promptly at 2:40. Plus, they are closed on all state holidays.
And Hawaii has several unique ones, right? Like King Kamehameha Day.
Exactly, so you have to check the calendar. Also, there's metered parking out front for about $2 an hour, but your real strategy needs to be about volume, not just logistics.
Volume.
Yeah. Do not just order a single copy of your marriage certificate.
Oh, this is a crucial point that jumped out of our research. The advice is to order at least 3 certified copies.
At least 3.
Because if you only get one, you are essentially creating a massive bureaucratic traffic jam for yourself.
Yep. You'll mail your one original to the passport agency, and then you're completely paralyzed.
Right, for like 6 weeks, just waiting for them to mail it back before you can update your bank or your car insurance.
Having 3 copies allows for parallel processing. You can hand one to your HR department, mail one to the State Department, and physically walk into a bank with the third.
It accelerates the entire transition.
Yeah.
Okay, so fast forward, you check your mailbox and boom, your 3 certified, raised seal Hawaii marriage certificates have arrived. The waiting period is over. Now what?
Well, this is the exact moment where the domino effect of government IDs kicks in.
And going out of order here is a massive pitfall. I feel like there should be a giant red warning label right on the envelope.
Seriously, the first domino must always be the Social Security Administration. Your Social Security record isn't just a retirement account, you know? It is the master foundation of your legal identity in the United States.
The master foundation.
Yeah. If your name doesn't match in the federal SSA database, every downstream system like the IRS, your state DMV, your employer's payroll software, they will all hit a brick wall when they try to verify you.
So the move here is filing Form SS5, the application for a Social Security card. You provide your certified marriage certificate and your current old ID. And I want to highlight something incredibly important from our sources here.
Oh, about the fees.
Yes. Updating your name with the SSA is completely free. $0.
That is such an important point.
If you are Googling how to change my name and you click on a website that tries to charge you like a $40 processing fee for the SS5 form, you have stumbled into a predatory scam.
Run away.
Back away slowly and go directly to the official .gov site.
Exactly. It costs nothing but your time and patience. The processing usually takes about 10 to 14 business days, and they mail you the new card.
And if you are an Oahu resident, the nearest physical location to process this is the Honolulu office.
Right. And the critical takeaway here is that you absolutely cannot proceed to the next major step until you either have that new card in your hand or, at the very least, the official printed receipt from the SSA.
The one proving your name change is actively processing in their system.
Exactly. Which brings us to step 2, the Department of Motor Vehicles.
The DMV. The final boss of government bureaucracy. This is the classic painful mistake people make.
It really is.
They get their shiny new marriage certificate, they get super excited, and they just drive straight to the DMV to get a new driver's license.
Yeah.
Going to the DMV before the SSA is like trying to put your shoes on before your socks.
Such a good analogy.
It physically just doesn't work. And you end up looking foolish when they send you right back out the door to sit in traffic.
And to understand why it fails, you have to look at the digital handshake happening behind the counter. When you hand the DMV clerk your marriage certificate and ask for new ID, they don't just take your word for it.
They verify it.
Right. They run your information through a verification software that pings the federal SSA database. If you skipped step 1, the state computer basically says, no match found for this name and social security number combination.
And your trip is instantly voided. Brutal.
Very brutal. So once the SSA is updated, Oahu residents have 5 driver licensing centers managed by the Department of Customer Services to choose from.
Let me guess. Kapalama, Kapolei, Kulau, Wahio, and Waianae.
You got them all. The Kapalama Hale location is a major hub, but you really need a strategy for all of them. Most operate Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
You might be tempted to swing by on your lunch break, But our sources indicate the midday rush will literally swallow your entire afternoon.
Oh, without a doubt. Treat this strategically. Go early in the week and aim to be in line before the doors even open. And don't forget your documents. Bring your marriage certificate, your current ID, proof of your address, like a recent utility bill.
And that new Social Security card.
Yeah.
Shoes over socks, people. Get the master key first, then the state ID. But what happens when you want to leave the country? That brings us to step 3 in the domino effect. The U.S. passport.
This is a big one.
I've heard horror stories about passport renewals ruining international anniversary trips. If I'm trying to book a romantic getaway to Europe 6 months from now, how long is this name change going to paralyze my ability to travel?
Well, the timeline dictates both your process and your wallet here. The State Department has a very specific rule. If your current passport was issued less than 1 year ago, they consider your name change a simple data correction.
Okay.
So you just file Form DS-5504, mail in your marriage certificate and your current passport, and the change is completely free of charge.
Wow. A rare and beautiful win. A free pass from the federal government. But what if I've had my passport for, say, 5 years?
Then you are outside the correction window, unfortunately. It is treated as a standard full-cost renewal. Yeah. You'll need to use Form DS-82 if you are eligible to renew by mail, or Form DS-11 if you have to apply in person. Normal fees apply, which can be pretty substantial.
And what about the travel timeline?
Routine processing takes about 4 to 6 weeks, assuming no massive backlogs. If you are staring down an upcoming flight, you can pay an extra $60 for expedited service to shrink that window to 2 to 3 weeks.
But wait, remember, that only covers the time the application is physically sitting on a desk at the passport agency. It doesn't factor in mail transit time on either end.
Good point.
So if you've got an international flight in 45 days, you are cutting it dangerously close. And that $60 expedite fee is basically mandatory insurance at that point.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've conquered the domestic databases and the borders. The SSA, the DMV, and the State Department all know exactly who you are. But your life doesn't just run on government IDs.
Not at all. That brings us to the next massive layer of this process. The systems that run your daily life, your finances, your loyalties, and ultimately, your legacy.
The rules of engagement shift entirely here. Let's start with the money. I've got my new driver's license. How much friction am I looking at to get my bank accounts to reflect my actual name?
Well, for traditional banks, you generally want to handle this in person. The banking industry operates under strict KYC or know your customer, federal regulation.
That's to prevent money laundering and stuff like that.
Exactly. So they need to physically inspect your new government ID and your certified marriage certificate. The good news is, once you're sitting in the desk, they are usually highly efficient.
They just update it right there.
Yeah, they will update your account profiles and often print you a new debit card right there on the spot. Credit cards are slightly less rigid, actually. You can typically log into your online portal or call the number on the back of the card, and they'll send you a secure digital link where you can upload a scanned PDF of your marriage certificate.
Okay, that's not too bad. And we can't forget about the workplace. You have to actively notify your HR department.
Oh, this is huge.
This isn't just about getting your professional email signature changed so you feel validated. It's about the IRS.
Yes, your employer needs to update your W-4 for tax purposes and adjust your payroll records.
Because if your HR department is filing your taxes under your maiden name, but the SSA and IRS have your married name, your tax return is going to get flagged and delayed next spring. And nobody wants that.
No one. The administrative burden really spreads out at this point. You have the lower priority utilities too: electric, gas, water, internet, cell phone plans.
Those just require a phone call or an online form usually.
Right. But there is one category our sources flagged as a massive frequent oversight that causes immense stress.
Oh, I know this one. The travel loyalty programs, airline frequent flyer accounts, hotel loyalty profiles, rental car statuses. I read the mechanics of this in our notes, and my blood honestly ran cold.
It's a nightmare scenario.
Imagine this. You did all the hard work. You conquered the SSA, the DMV, the passport agency. 6 months later, you book a flight for your honeymoon part 2. But you book it while logged into your Delta or Hawaiian Airlines account, which you created like 10 years ago, under your maiden name.
Uh-oh.
So the airline's automated booking system issues the electronic ticket under that old name. You show up at the airport, walk up to the TSA podium and hand them your shiny new driver's license with your married name.
And you immediately trigger a security failure. The Transportation Security Administration operates the Secure Flight System, which requires the name on your boarding pass to match the government-issued ID presented exactly.
Exactly.
If they clash, you aren't getting through that checkpoint.
It's like a secret trapdoor built into the airport. Everything is perfectly fine until you scan your boarding pass, the computer flags the mismatch, and suddenly you're pulled out of line, arguing with a supervisor, sweating through your shirt while your flight is actively boarding at the gate.
It's the worst. You have to manually update those frequent flyer accounts beforehand, and sometimes the airlines even require you to email them a copy of your marriage certificate just to change your profile name.
It perfectly illustrates how your identity isn't just like an abstract concept. It is deeply embedded in interconnected commercial and security networks.
It really is. And speaking of networks that outlast us, we have to address the heaviest but arguably most critical layer of this deep dive: legacy and estate planning.
Ah, yes. The stuff nobody wants to talk about right after a wedding.
I know, it is incredibly easy to leave this on the back burner. You're newly married, you're looking to the future. But if you have an existing will, a living trust, or life insurance policies, the beneficiary designations absolutely must be updated to reflect the new legal name.
Let's break down the mechanics of why that matters. Say partner A passes away unexpectedly, and partner B goes to claim the life insurance payout. If the policy still lists partner B's maiden name, what actually happens?
Well, the insurance company will freeze the payout. The legal burden of proof instantly shifts to the grieving spouse. They now have to procure their marriage certificate, birth certificate, and potentially engage in a probate process.
Just to prove they are who they say they are.
Yes, to legally prove to a corporate underwriter that they are, in fact, the exact same human being named in that 10-year-old document. It introduces a mountain of legal friction, delays, and potential legal fees during literally the most traumatic period of a person's life.
Wow. Updating those documents now ensures your spouse is protected seamlessly.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's zoom out and look at the whole board here. The Department of Health waiting periods, the SSA applications, the DMV digital handshakes, the passport forms, the banking KYC laws, the HR tax updates, the airline security trapdoors, and the legal friction of estate planning.
That's a lot.
It sounds utterly exhausting. It's essentially a part-time job that you inherit the moment you say, I do.
It is a massive administrative undertaking, and this is exactly why the initial filing of that marriage license needs to be executed flawlessly. If that first domino falls perfectly, the rest of the process is manageable.
But if the first step is botched?
The entire timeline collapses.
Which brings us to a really major finding in our sources. When we looked at the reviews for Efficients on Oahu, specifically using Reverend James Chun as our prime case study, the standout feature in the 5-star reviews wasn't just the fact that he performs beautiful beachfront vows.
Right, it was something else entirely.
The common denominator was couples realizing they didn't have to touch a single form or deal with the state bureaucracy on day one. He basically absorbs the bureaucratic liability.
The primary pain point for destination couples is navigating local government offices while trying to enjoy a vacation. Reverend Chun eliminates that friction entirely.
How does he do it?
By signing and submitting the marriage license for filing with the Department of Health on the exact same day as the ceremony. He initiates that 1 to 4 week processing clock immediately.
So the couple doesn't have to spend a single moment of their honeymoon figuring out where Punchbowl Street is.
Exactly. He acts as a bureaucratic shield. And he applies that same frictionless approach to the actual wedding logistics, too.
Oh, yeah. There are reviews talking about couples who had their beach location completely rained out, and he just seamlessly pivoted them to an indoor location without a single drop of stress.
Like a wedding ninja.
A wedding ninja, exactly. He offers a remarkable range of options tailored to how much or how little production a couple wants. You can orchestrate a grand beach elopement at stunning spots like Magic Island or Papaloa Beach, complete with traditional Hawaiian lace ceremonies.
So beautiful.
But he also maintains a dedicated space in Honolulu that reviewers affectionately call the Treehouse Office.
The Treehouse Office sounds brilliant for couples who are terrified of being the center of attention. Sometimes you just want the legal commitment documented beautifully without 50 strangers watching you on a public beach in their bathing suits. It provides an intimate, private environment for a quick vow exchange and paper signing, but it retains a sense of profound meaning. Plus, he works directly with top-tier local photographers like Star and Heiko.
So the couple doesn't have to vet vendors or coordinate arrival times.
Right. Rev Chun books them, they show up, the moment is captured flawlessly, and the legal paperwork just vanishes into his briefcase to be filed with the state.
You literally show up at Magic Island, Heiko takes the photos, you make your commitment, and then you just walk away to grab a Mai Tai.
Just walk right to the bar.
You get to completely ignore the Department of Health, knowing that the golden ticket will be arriving in your mainland mailbox a few weeks later. That is the ultimate definition of stress-free.
It allows the couple to remain completely present in the emotional and spiritual reality of their wedding day, rather than being distracted by the looming administrative mechanics.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the labyrinth of legal names and government databases, I want to leave you with something entirely different to think about. We've spent the last 20 minutes talking about the immediate headaches of paperwork. But when you legally change your name, you are doing something much bigger than updating a driver's license.
Oh.
You are essentially creating a permanent fork in your own historical data.
That is a fascinating perspective.
Think about it. A genealogist 50 or 100 years from now isn't going to have access to your facial recognition data or your iPhone passwords. When they try to build your family tree, they are going to hit a dead end on your maiden name.
That's true.
The only way they will be able to figure out where your old family line ended and a completely new one began is by tracking down this exact physical piece of paper with its raised seal resting in an archive at room 103 on Punchbowl Street. Your marriage certificate isn't just a golden ticket for the DMV. It's the anchor point of your historical existence.
Wow. It is the physical artifact that ties generations together, a really profound way to look at a seemingly mundane administrative process.
Exactly. So if you are ready to create that historical anchor point, and you want to ensure the modern bureaucracy is handled by a true professional so you can actually enjoy your vacation, you need to utilize the resources we've uncovered today.
Leave the stress behind. Visit hawaiiweddingminister.com for a completely frictionless planning experience.
And even if you are just in the dreaming phase, you can find incredible inspiration and scope out beautiful locations by following @OahuMinister on Instagram.
You definitely want to follow that account just for the pristine beach aesthetics alone. It will instantly lower your blood pressure.
For all of you listeners currently staring down a stack of forms, don't let the paperwork hangover ruin the afterglow. Get the socks on before the shoes, order 3 copies of that certificate, tackle the SSA first, and let someone like Reverend Chun handle the heavy lifting on the island.
Good luck out there.
Remind yourselves to subscribe for more deep dives into everything you need to know. And until next time, stay salty, stay hitched.
That wraps up our guide to navigating the Department of Health and the DMV without the stress. Remember, it all starts with that certified copy and a little help from Reverend James Chun to keep your honeymoon vibes going. Until next time, stay salty, stay hitched, and we'll see you on the sands of Oahu.